Today's video is sponsored by Michaels. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna do some cozy fall DIYs. The first one that I'll be doing is a little watercolor study of some like fall leaves. And to do this, I'm going to be getting out my new set of watercolors. These are the Artist Loft watercolors that I got from Michaels, and I'm super excited to put these to the test because the set was so inexpensive. I think it was like $5, and I just really needed a new set of just the essential colors, so I thought this would be a perfect way to try them out. As you can see, I'm mostly using a lot of warm tones, so like ochre colors, reds, browns, and that's what I'm gonna pretty much just use to do my painting. So I'm gonna start out with this little leaf, and I'm going in with a very light hand for the first layer, and I'm using kind of a lot of water on my brush so that it's not super pigmented. One thing that I've noticed when trying to paint realistic paintings is that it's good to start out with a very transparent layer when you're working with watercolors first, and then building that up with multiple layers. And also I'm using a tiny brush to get those like outside details. I noticed that when I put like more of a thin lined border around it, it made it look more realistic and there was like more depth to it. So that's what I'm doing for this one. I also added some like dots on it just to kind of grab those little imperfections that leaves have. So you can either splatter paint them on, which I tried to do, but it kind of got all over my paper, as you can see, or you can just dot them yourself. So yeah, I'm just gonna do a bunch of these leaves in different shapes and sizes. The one thing that I love about the fall season is just the colors. Oh, I love this color scheme. Just warm tone colors has been my favorite thing lately, which is funny because a couple years ago, I only painted with cool tone colors like grays and blues. I'm just so happy I've finally branched out from that. But yeah, I'm just gonna do a little maple leaf now, of course. I absolutely love the flow that watercolors have, how you can make it kind of transparent in some areas and more saturated in color in others. That's the one thing that I just love about watercolors. It just feels so magical. On the edges, I'm definitely going in with more paint, like to be more of a saturated color, and then I fan it out by just adding some more watercolor to my brush and fanning it out in the middle. And if you have an actual leaf to go off of, that would be probably the best way to do it, to be able to really see all of those tiny little veiny details that leaves have. For me, it's still like 97 degrees outside and is basically like summer. So our leaves are still thriving and they're green, and I don't have any fall leaves to look off of. So I personally had to look online for like leaf photography. But yeah, if you have an actual leaf, that would be probably ideal. And now I'm just doing a little mushroom. Also, all of the white detailing that I'm doing with my white Jelly Roll pen, and usually I would use my Uniball white Signo pen, but for this detailing, I wanted it to be very thin, and so the Jelly Rolls are like perfect for that. And then I just want to do one more mushroom in the corner because I can't help it. I've been painting mushrooms so much lately, just so fun, and they're so cute. But yeah, I'm actually so impressed by these paints, especially for being how expensive they are. And it's always nice to have kind of like a core essentials set of colors that you can just use. And pretty much all of the colors in this set is what I would recommend as your starter kind of set. I took a watercolor class in college, and I just kind of looked to see the essential colors that she recommended we all get in the beginning of the semester, and they were pretty much the same as this set, which I think is perfect, especially if you're starting out and don't really know where to start. But yeah, now I'm trying to do my last little maple leaf, and what I love about maple leaves is they have like all different kinds of colors throughout them a lot of the time. So in some corners I'm going in with more brown, and then I'm flowing it into like an orange or red. I've also seen a lot of maple leaves with more yellow or greens throughout them, so if you want to do that, that's another idea. But I kind of wanted to keep this whole painting warm tones, so I'm just sticking with the colors I've been using for the most part. And yeah, I'm just doing the little stem, and then of course outlining the outside. And just a little reminder, just when you're doing the outline, to make it a lot more realistic, just go in with a very, very, very light hand with a very thin line. So I would definitely suggest using a tiny detail brush, the tiniest detail brush you have, to do that part. If you're having trouble finding the right size brush, I would definitely suggest getting like around a size 0 or a 1-0 or a 2-0. Those are the sizes where you're going to get that very like fine tip on it. And yeah, I'm just finishing up by doing a little fern and then a acorn. I thought it'd be so cute to do a little acorn. I don't know if I've ever painted an acorn before, but I'm gonna try to do my best. So basically I'm going in with the most saturation on the left side and then more water on the right side, just to kind of make it look rounded, I guess. And I think it ended up turning out so cute. I kind of wish I had more room to do a couple more acorns throughout the painting, but that's okay. I'll have to save it for another time. And yeah, I'm just finishing up this little sprig in the corner to fill that blank spot. And yeah, this is how my little watercolor leaf study came out. Alright, so now I'm going to move on to the second DIY I'll be doing, which are some little wooden painted coasters. I got these from Michael's, and they come in like a couple different wood designs. One's like a bark, and then a couple of the others are like a birch wood, and they're so cute. I love them so much. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to do a little sketch of what I want. I'm going to do 3 of them, and I want them all to be like fall, kind of cozy themed. I'm so excited about these because the night before I did this, I sketched them all out on my iPad, different designs that I wanted to do. The first one is this little mushroom design, and now I'm going to get out my paints. I'm going to be using my Liquitex Basics acrylic paints for this, and I'm just getting out a couple colors that I think I'll like. So I got out a red, a yellowish green color, and then a brown, and I'm just gonna go right in with my paintbrush. And I really wanted to make the colors super bright and vibrant. I just thought it would look really nice on this textured wood. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. One thing that I noticed while painting on wood is that it's really hard to manipulate the paints in the way that you want them to on a wooden kind of backing. I think the wood kind of sucks up the paint a little bit, so you need a lot more paint than you would think on your brush. And one way I got around this is by putting a teeny bit of water in the paints when I was painting this, and that definitely helped the flow of the paints a little bit. And now I'm just going in with my micron pen. I wanted to outline everything in a black fine pen, and I thought this was gonna kind of be hard to do on wood, but it actually worked out pretty well. These wooden slabs are pretty smooth, so you don't have to really worry too much about it ruining your pens or anything. And this is how my magical little coaster turned out. I think it turned out so cute. I'm so excited about these. I'm just gonna be doing 2 more, and this one I wanted to do a cozy little house. So I'm just drawing my little house with a little star on top, doing some little ferns around it, and then writing cozy on the bottom. But now I'm going in with my Derwent white pencil, which is my favorite white pencil of all time. It's like very creamy in consistency, so it feels like much better than just a normal colored pencil. Can't explain it, but I love this thing. I always forget I have it. But now I'm just filling in the little roof with black, and then I'm doing a bunch of little lines to make it look like wooden panels on the house, and I'm pretty much done with this painting. I'm trying to keep each one of these very simple and just elegant and cute. I feel like I could just spend like a whole day making these. It's so much fun. And now I'm just going in to do a little more detailing with my white colored pencil again for the leaves, and this coaster I think is finished. Alright, so now I'm going to do my last coaster, and this one is going to be an ode to tea. I am not a coffee drinker. I cannot do that amount of caffeine. It just makes me like start panicking and shaking, and it's just not a good scenario. So in the fall time, I'll break out like all of my hot teas, and I just love it. It's my favorite thing. So I am doing a little tea time coaster and all of these coasters I'm going to go over with a clear top coat spray. I didn't add it into this video because I totally forgot, but I am probably going to go over quite a few times, because as soon as I put a drink with moisture on it, I just know that the painting is probably going to get messed up. So definitely I would put some sort of clear top coat on these things as soon as you finish them, if you're planning on using them as actual coasters. Or you can just use them around the house as just decor, which is what I might do too. But now I'm going to move on to my last DIY, which is painting a pumpkin. So I've done this in the past on a real pumpkin, but this time I wanted to do it on a fake one because I want to keep it for every fall season that I have. So I got this little white small pumpkin from Michael's, and it really does look like a real pumpkin to me. It's definitely probably the most realistic pumpkin I've seen. So it also has this texture that kind of is really good for drawing on or painting on. It's a little bit rough and not as like shiny and smooth, so paint and like pens go on it really, really well. So I'm just taking out my Liquitex paints again, and I'm going in with this green color to do a bunch of ferns all over, and then I'm gonna do a bunch of like tiny little flower details and stuff. But yeah, this is what it looks like with the ferns. I'm not making them super like detailed or anything. I'm just kind of going in and having fun with it. And while doing this, I thought this would be such a perfect activity to do with like friends or family. So I think I'm gonna surprise my sisters and get a bunch of like different colored pumpkins. I think they had like orange, black, and white. And I thought I would like bring over a bunch of paints and we could do like a pumpkin painting day instead of pumpkin carving, which is very messy. We never do it because it just gets so messy, but I thought it would be fun. And now I'm just taking out some Posca paint pen markers and I'm going in for the details, just because it's a little bit easier to get like small little details on this thing with a fine pen. I of course had to add in some little maple leaves and some moons, and this is pretty much the finished little pumpkin that I did. It's not perfect, but I think it turned out really cute. But yeah, that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy doing these cute fall DIYs. If you end up doing them yourselves, definitely tag me in your photos on Instagram. And I want to say a big thank you to Michael's for partnering with me for this video. It was so much fun. All of the links to everything that I used in this video will be in my description box. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.